Why your loser friends are holding you back. Let's take a quick look at what your friends are doing right now. Okay, well, one of them is probably jacking off right now. That's not very productive. Okay, well, I'm sure that's just an exception. What are the other ones doing? Okay, the other one is playing video games in his room. It smells of crisp bags. Okay, well, it can't all be bad. Okay, the last one is scrolling. Scrolling on TikTok, trying to get as much dopamine as possible. They all have different vices that they are addicted to. Like, none of these are actually good habits, and they aren't trying to quit them either. We can all agree that these are things that losers would do. Right? They aren't winning in life. They aren't getting closer to their goals. In fact, they are actively going away from it. They are actively getting a worse physique, becoming less attractive. They are actively making less money, becoming less socially confident. They are constantly moving away from their goals. They are actually losing in life. But what about you? Okay, well, you've been scrolling through YouTube looking for a video that kind of excites you, haven't you? You want an exception to this rule. You're still the same as them. You're doing the same things. You're doing these bad habits that are just basically damaging your life. Why is that? It's because you're hanging around these losers. That's why. A while back, I remember hearing a quote, and maybe you've heard it as well. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Isn't that interesting? That means, hypothetically, let's say you were in a house with 5 other swimmers. They all swam, they were all professional swimmers, they did it all the time, that's all they talked about. But you can't swim. You don't really want to swim. You don't like the water. But these guys are nice to you. You're constantly talking and they always talk about swimming. They always try and invite you to swimming. They always try and just get you to join them. And you always refuse. Nah, no thanks. I didn't want to go. And they're cool with it. Yeah, you didn't need to go then. Sure. Stay at home. But after a long enough time frame, you will start to swim. Inevitably. Because it takes genuine effort in order to not conform to what they are doing. Because of course, they are always inviting you to swim. Are you going to reject them every single time for the rest of your fucking life? Obviously not, right? So eventually you will become a swimmer. Maybe not a professional, but it will become part of your life. Which is interesting, because this applies to every single thing. I've seen this rule happen so many times. If you hang around people who drink, you will eventually start drinking alcohol, no matter how much you pride yourself on the idea of not doing degenerate things like that. If you hang around people who do drugs, eventually you'll get mixed in that sort of business. Right? So then what about right now? You're hanging around these people who are constantly getting farther and farther away from their goals. Well, like, we all kind of have similar goals. We all want to get more attractive, regardless of your reason. But if you're playing video games and inside all the time, of course you're becoming less attractive. Obviously, you're becoming more unhealthy. You're starting to get all these diseases. If you're scrolling on TikTok, your attention span is getting worse. You're becoming less confident because you're comparing yourself to all of these top 1% men on the planet. You're getting away from every single goal. That's who you're hanging around with. So of course you're going to be similar. You're hanging around people who are influencing you to become worse. Is that what you want? to just become a shell of what you could have been? No, obviously not. That's common sense. So how can you stop this? Because I don't want you to do this weird cringe thing where you send one final message. I'm sorry guys, this is the end, we can't be friends anymore. That's weird and cringe, and you don't need to take it that seriously. You just kind of have to start distancing yourself, that's it. You're friends with these people who aren't helping you at all, who are negatively influencing you. Just kind of stop talking to them. They invite you out to do something, just kind of say, no, I don't really want to go. Maybe you meet them in your workplace or in school. Just be polite and kind of just end the conversation quickly. Just stop hanging out with them. And this is important because once you stop hanging out with them, you finally open up the doors to grow for the first time ever. You can finally become a better version of yourself. And when you start doing that, you can finally make friends who are positively influencing you. Right, this works both ways. If you are down here and you have friends up here, you'll slowly start to go up to them, meaning you'll progress even faster without doing anything else. And I know you'll be tempted to kind of stay with your loser friends, and then eventually you can just jump up to having like these confident male friends who help you grow, etc. But it doesn't work like that. You need to have this period of kind of loneliness where you don't have anyone around you. Because if you're hanging around with these losers, and I see that you're a loser, for example, why would I want to be friends with you? Why would anyone who is higher than you want to drop down to such a sharp degree and literally lose progress themselves? Because the rule applies to them as well. If you're all the way down here, they'll become worse. You'll invite them to playing video games and they'll join you maybe, and they'll become worse. So why would they want to hang out with you when you're all the way down here? You want to start rising, and then they see you rising, they see that momentum, and they kind of allow you to join up with them. That's common sense. And it's going to be difficult, it's going to be annoying. No one really wants to be lonely. But you can shorten this time. All it takes is social skills. If you learn to get better at socializing, you learn to become humorous, you learn to become funny and confident. These people who are up here will like you so much more, they'll actually want to join you because you have this positive energy around you. How do you become confident? How do you become socially calibrated? Well, I did it myself, but it took me 2 entire years. I had to learn everything from scratch. I had to learn how to talk to people. It was frightening. I had anxiety doing it. It was all such an arduous journey. It took so much gumption. I didn't want to do it, but I still did it every day. But you didn't need to go through that. You didn't need to spend countless hours trying to go outside, trying to force yourself to put yourself out there. Because I can lead the path for you. All of the mistakes I made, all of the things that I did that held me back so many months. You can skip them all. Right? I'm like walking in front of you in this dangerous path, and I can block the sharp thorns in front of you. And all you need to do is trust me. So if you want to learn to socialize, the fast track to getting better at socializing, so you can make these confident friends who will make you grow exponentially compared to where you are now. You'll start getting into the gym. You'll improve your physique, your health. You'll get better at socializing. You'll become more confident. Your life experience will be better. Then check out the top link in the description. The social protocol. It'll get you from level 0 of social skills where you can't talk to anyone to level 2, where you can talk to any man at any time, no matter what. This will completely change your life. You'll get better at socializing, and you'll be in a community of like-minded men who also want to get better. You can literally go on this maps feature and see people who are near you. It won't dox your location, and you can literally message those people. Oh yeah, I saw that you were in my town. Do you want to go to the gym and hit a workout? Do you want to just hang out and just walk around the city center? That could be a lifelong friend just because you sent one message. It could. Check it out, the top link in the description. It will change your life. You'll learn to socialize, you'll meet people who are like-minded, you'll get weekly calls with me. I'll see you in there. Remember, consistency is over a lifetime. Bye-bye.